We embrace our students. We help them discover whatever weaknesses they must have, because all of us do, but then show them a path to repair those. We walk the walk with them. And or as our students will say, we know this faculty has our back. That's been happening well before I ever came here. And that commitment of the faculty to student success is very important, but also encountering students and asking very hard questions and helping students confront their weaknesses, not just be deluded by the myth that I'm excellent because they say I'm excellent. No, you're excellent, but you still fell on your face. Now I'm going to show you how to walk right. Our students are not only idealistic, but committed to the notion of justice, not only for themselves, but for everyone else, so that Black Lives Matter really resonated among our students. And even when many people will come back and say, why are you saying that white lives don't matter? Our students articulate another way that is, if Black lives don't matter, then no lives matter. Our students, like everyone, can be very self-interested. I need to get my medical degree, I need to become a great lawyer and things like that. I'm shaping my life. But they always come back to this notion that basically what that life as a great doctor or a great lawyer, whatever it is, won't mean a thing unless I'm serving someone else. Right now, we're going through this struggle of his DNA identity, and people are finding out how really mixed they really are. Right now, we're having a debate in the clinical settings about how race is used to treat patients. Because it's not a very good tool, because you have a drug that doesn't work for African Americans. But African Americans, what does that mean? Are they the ones who came from the Caribbean who might have some of the Chinese? Or is it African Americans from southern United States who are from one that are a part of the diaspora? Or the African people of the African diaspora who came out of Brazil? They're genetically very different. There's a whole genetic diversity in African Americans is probably, at least for the average, is probably a quarter or more. You have white people who get sickle cell in Tennessee and go to St. Jude, and only then they find out that they have some African American blood. They never knew it. So the whole race and identity thing from a medical point of view and biological point of view is gone. But as a societal thing, it's very rigid, because we make these people poorer, we make these people richer. But it's changing among our children. What's that proverb that says, the caravan has moved on, but the dogs keep barking? Our children are seeing it a little differently, and their children will see it somewhat differently even more. What that does for us is that, do we see the last gasp of white supremacy, or will eventually change as the country changes? We don't know. I was born in Port-au-Prince, Haiti. My father was a physician. My mother was also a nurse. She also taught midwifery at the nursing school. We had family in our neighborhood. We had family throughout the city, throughout Port-au-Prince and Haiti. But Haiti was our friends, godparents, aunts, uncles. It was, we felt we were loved, this was our world. And that world fell apart in '63. When in April of '63, when Xavier did his major push to actually crush all opposition, there were mass arrests and mass killings. When we were picked up from school by a neighbor who dropped us at my grandmother's house, there were bodies on the street. They wanted my father actually as well, and they took my mother away, and we were left in the house waiting for my mother to come back, like good, disciplined children, waiting for them to come back. My aunt showed up in the house. She saw the four of us and her son, who was my cousin, waiting there barefoot, waiting for the guard, and asked us. And as soon as we told her what happened, she said, "Put your shoes on." He took us out over the fence, and we were in hiding at a friend's house, Winnie Jean-Jacques, who passed away several years ago. But we hid in his house for several days. I can't tell you I remember how long. My memory, it's all distilled. It was more than a couple of days. It probably was less than a week. But I can't tell you. Time is distilled for that in that event. We arrived in the United States, my mother and 4 children. My father had stayed behind. Brooklyn was a discovery. First of all, Brooklyn was not always welcoming, because we were Frenchy. They were fighting all the time in the schools. And I was this tiny kid, and there's a certain honor among thieves. They would pit me in a circle with another small kid, and we'd have to fight. Crown Heights was a mixture of many cultures. There were large Jamaican, Trinidadians, Jews, both Orthodox and Reformed, and of course Puerto Ricans and Italians. That was Crown Heights, and we attended the church together. We were altar boys together, and so that became our world. And we learned to live and coexist. But that initial introduction to Brooklyn was a bit of a shock.